guys, welcome back to my channel. This morning I woke up and I knew I needed to film today and I really had no idea what the fuck I wanted to film. So I was like looking at YouTube and like looking at videos to see what interested me, and I was really drawn to all of these like first impressions videos, but I felt like I've been doing so many first impressions videos lately and I wanted to switch it up a little bit. So I decided to do a drugstore first impressions video because I haven't done a drugstore video on this channel, I think, pretty much ever. Like, I may have done one like back years ago, like the first time I did YouTube, and then I stopped. So yeah, essentially, effectively, I never did like a real, true, fully drugstore makeup video on this channel. So definitely something different in that respect. I had no intentions of this turning into like a unicorn princess look, but it completely did. Like every single thing wound up being like bright blue, pink, duochrome, like mixed with like a little bit of gold. And I don't know how that happened because that's not even like the mood I'm in right now because the fall weather is rolling in real quick out here. It just is what happened. I don't know how this happened. I look like a cotton candy bubblegum unicorn princess fairy. What are you gonna do? This look actually reminds me a lot of something that Jay Kissa did a while ago. So accidental inspiration from her there. She's, you know, she's just inspiring overall. If I can find that video from her that I'm thinking of, I'll link that down below because she did a really awesome job. She did it a little different. She like did like a negative space in the center and it looked really bomb. But if I remember correctly, it was very similar to this. I have a lot of products to dive into here. We have some real serious winners. Like I'm talking about like really solid shit, and then some complete ass turd duds. So we are going to dive right in and stop wasting time chatting because there is a lot to say. All right, we're gonna start on the eyes, and the first product I'm testing out today is a palette from NYX that I have not tried before. This is the NYX Ultimate Palette in the Brights version. I have a version of this that is like a warm tone version. I think it's called just Warm Neutrals palette. I've yet to try this one. It's got a lot of colors in it, and I think I'm gonna do something a little bit fun and interesting and do like a two-toned sort of version of a halo eye. I'm not sure exactly where I'm going with it yet, but that's the track we're starting out on. One thing right off the bat that I don't love about this palette is I prefer my palettes to be complete in that I would like there to be neutrals and darks in there to kind of ground these down and make a whole look out of them. I find it very difficult to make a look with just brights. So I'm going to reach for a different eyeshadow just to put through the crease to make a transition. I'm going to skip over that part so we don't waste time because we want to do like first impressions only for the most part in this video. And then we'll jump right into that palette. All right, on the outside portion of the eye, I think I'm going to do blue. I'm going to pick up this bright blue shade here first and lay that down in like a halo shape, blending it out past the crease and kind of blowing it out upward. And on top of that blue on the lower portion, for some reason on the camera this looks lighter, but in real life it looks darker than the other blue. So I'm assuming it's going to apply slightly darker and more muted. So I'm going to pick up this blue on a Sonia Kashuk brush. This is kind of like a crease brush combined with a pencil brush. It's just kind of like just a dense round brush. Definitely getting a little bit of fallout from these, but not terrible. Yeah, that did exactly what I thought it would. It just kind of just deepened it up a little bit. I'm going to pick up a little bit more of that brighter turquoisey blue shade on the other brush and just put it back in the crease because it kind of blended away a little bit too much. To make this a little bit more interesting, I'm going to do like a pinkish red on the inner version, so it's like a two-toned halo type of stitch. All right, I wrote the number off on this brush, but I think it's a Sigma E32, 25, 29, I can't even, 28 maybe, I can't tell. I'm gonna dip that into this pink color and place that on the inner portion. That pink is blending beautifully. Usually like with a very bright matte shade, it's kind of hard to get it to blend like very nicely right off the bat. That blended like a dream, so very impressed with that shade. And to darken that inner corner, I am going to grab a bit more of a dense brush. This is an Urban Decay brush. Came with one of their palettes, I think. And I think I'm going to darken that up with this red shade. This red shade is a little bit strange because it has like a small amount of gold-ish reflects in it, which I would not really expect in this palette, and none of the other shades really have anything like that, but it doesn't really show when you put it on the eye, so I guess it doesn't really matter all that much. I'm just going to blend a little bit more of that pink back in where we lost it along the edges. I'm going to pick up that same color that we used on the blue and do the same on the outer edge. I'm going to go ahead and seal underneath my eyes and set them and do the same exact thing underneath my eyes, and then we can try the next product, which is very interesting, and I've never actually even heard of it before, so I'm very interested to see how it performs. I did underneath the eyes is pretty much the same as I did on the top. I have to say that some colors are definitely blending out better than others. The pink and the red blend beautifully, the bright blue blended beautifully, but that cornflower blue, not so great. It's a little patchy, to be honest. It's not something that I would reach for again, but the other colors are pretty good and I definitely would reach for them again. That being said, I think that if you have something along the lines of like the Morphe 35B or any of the BH multicolor palettes, you don't really need this, but I would say that in general the shades in here are a little bit hit or miss. Not something that I hate. I don't dislike this palette generally, but I also just don't love it either. One thing that I absolutely freaking hate about drugstore makeup, just in general, is the little plastic stickers that they use to keep them closed. First of all, they never come off clean. Second of all, they leave residue all over them and they're gross. Just, there has to be a better way. There has to be. The next product, I am going to use this in the center of the eyes as a pop of metallic. This is the L'Oreal Infallible Paints Metallic Eyeshadow. The shade is 402 Brass Knuckles. It looks a little bit like this. Interesting that they're calling this a metallic paint when it is clearly a powder product. So I'm not sure where they're going with that, but I will tell you right now that I am anticipating needing to use it wet, but because this is a first impression, we are going to use it dry first. This is just an e.l.f. shading brush, and I am going to pack it onto the brush and pop that in the center of the lid between that bright blue and the bright pink. It's actually much better on the lid dry than I expected it to be, but it's not doing anything like to blow my skirt up either, so this is what it looks like dry. I am going to apply it wet instead. And I'm picking that up on a slightly smaller brush. This is a Real Techniques shader. That's much better. This is actually a really pretty eyeshadow. I like that. That's a pretty shadow. I'm also going to pop that on the bottom part in the center as well. Alright, next I need to fill in that waterline, and I am kind of doubting that this is the right product that I've chosen at this point, but I'm going to use it anyway because we're here for the first impressions. We're committed now. I should have probably picked a different color though. This is the Endless Silky Eye Pen from Pixi in the color Copper Glow. Right off the top, something interesting about this is they're calling it a pen when it is clearly a pencil, which is strange to me. I'm just going to run this through my waterline and see how it works in there, and if I feel like it has taken over the look a little bit too much and made it too brown, I'm going to pop a little bit of that bronze shade that we use for the eyeshadow like right into the waterline so that it brightens it back up in the center. Oh, I always water when I put shit in my waterline. I hate it. So far, this is fine. It reminds me a lot of the L'Oreal Silkissime, you know the ones about Silkissime? I think it's the fucking weirdest name ever. Why is it called Silkissime? What does that mean? Is it from Kissimmee St. Cloud? I don't fucking understand. But anyway, it reminds me of those, the way it glides on, and also the packaging. It's perfectly nice. It's nothing crazy amazing or anything special. It's a little more glittery than I expected it to be, but it's actually very pretty and pairs well with the bronze in the center here, so I'm not mad at it for this look at all. The real test is how it will wear throughout the day, so I will let you guys know in like a later video what I think of it after wearing it for a while. But so far, for a drugstore eyeliner, it's fine. Everything's fine. Next up, we have the Maybelline Colossal Big Shot Mascara. This is the black one in the waterproof version. I was hoping that they had the Makeup Shayla versions, but I guess that was wishful thinking because I'm pretty sure those sold out like immediately. So we'll just go with regular black and see how it works out. Generally speaking, I really like drugstore mascaras usually, so I have high hopes for this. I don't see any reason why it should suck. Anything that's like volume E and waterproof usually works really well for me, so let's see. I was expecting a curved brush for some reason, but it has a straight brush. I don't know why I was expecting a curved one. I feel like I just implanted that information in my mind because that's what I wanted it to be. Oh shit, wow. That actually gives a lot of volume. Wow, this is really good mascara. I like this a lot. Damn. Okay, so without. I'm probably going to put on lashes just to complete this look, but honestly, this mascara is one of the best ones I've used in a long time. I haven't used a drugstore mascara in a while just because I've been like a bougie ass snobby bitch, to be perfectly honest. But the truth of the matter is that this is just as good application wise, if not better, than most of the high-end mascaras that I've been using. So as long as it doesn't drip or run, drip, I don't think drip is the right word. As long as it doesn't run or flake throughout the day, this might become, I don't know why, I just turned into a robot. As long as this doesn't like flake or run throughout the day, this might become one of my favorite mascaras because it looks beautiful. It lengthened, it separated, it just gave a ton of volume. It makes them look like flared and beautiful right off the bat. I didn't do anything out of the ordinary with this mascara and it looks great. So I'm really impressed so far, and it's really affordable, so that's fucking fantastic. Moving on to the cheeks, I really wanted to try the Maybelline Master Chrome, but I actually went to 2 stores and it was sold out in both stores, so we won't be trying that today, unfortunately. I should have known because it was like the most hyped up item on my little list of things to buy, so it only makes sense. But what I did get was the NYX Duo Chromatic Highlighter. This is the shade Lavender Steel. I love like lavender pinky duochrome-esque highlights, and I'm sorry I'm like looking off to the side here, but I'm looking for my highlight brush. I don't know where I put it. I can't find my regular highlight brush, but this e.l.f. one will have to do for now. I'm gonna go in with Lavender Steel from NYX on the cheeks. I have to say, in the pan, this looks gorgeous. Wow, holy fuck, NYX. Hot damn, NYX, that's fucking gorgeous. Oh my goodness. I hope that you guys can see how pretty and like pinky purpley that is on camera, because in real life, this is like, if you like that like unicorn highlight shit, like this is your jam right here. And also, I feel like this would look really great on darker skin tones as well, not just on my milky paleness. I've seen what this looks like, and I feel like it really goes with the eye look so well. I'm going to pick a little bit of that up on a BH brush. This is a number 5, and I'm going to highlight the inner corner of my eyes with that as well, because I feel like they could use a little light in that inner corner, and it also blends so nicely with that pink shade, so it won't take away from the effect that we created. Ooh, I love this. Ooh, this is a favorite new purchase for sure. super duper duper super snooper duper snooper hooper duper duper happy with this highlight. Super happy with it. Super happy. Boom, boom. We have a winner. Boom. For blush, I picked up this Essence Blush Up. This is the shade Pinky Flow. It looks really cool in the pan. It's all like ombre and shit. To be honest, this is not terribly pigmented at all. I actually feel like it's doing pretty much nothing. If you have a darker skin tone, I don't think this will show up at all. It's not terrible. It's not like absolutely nothing, but it's very, very minimal. I actually don't like when blushes are over pigmented, but this isn't pigmented enough even for me. The price point on this is super duper low though, so if you are looking for a bargain, it's not the worst, but it's also not very impressive. For the lips today, I am going to be trying a new liquid lipstick from Maybelline. This is the Super Stay Matte Ink in the color Lover. What the fuck is happening? What is happening? Okay, this is so bizarre. When I pull the product out, it does like a weird static cling and goes back into the hole. Hold on, hopefully I can get this on camera and it focuses. Do you see it? Like, what the fuck is happening? Why is it doing that? It's literally trying to fly back into the hole. I don't understand. This is the weirdest shit I've ever seen. Anyway, let's see what that does on our lips. What the fuck? Woo! It smells strongly of cake. I could do without that, but it's also not like terribly. This is the fucking weirdest thing. Every time I pull it out, it does the same shit. It's so weird. What is happening? The applicator is nice. I can get a nice line with it without using a brush. It applies evenly. It feels nice on the lips, but I can't tell yet if it's going to dry down or not. It says matte, but right now it doesn't look matte at all, and it doesn't really look like it's drying. So I'm going to pause for a second, see if it dries down at all, and then we'll move on to the next product, because I want to make sure I know first like how this sits before I put something on top of it, because it's very unclear to me at the moment. Alright, it's been a few minutes and this has not really, like, it's dried down and set, but it's definitely not matte. It's like satin-ish, but like, I don't know, it still sticks together in the center when I close my lips. Like, it's very tacky. I would not say that this is like a liquid lipstick formula like you would be used to purchasing from, say, Anastasia Beverly Hills, something along those lines. It's almost like a little bit like of a rubbery consistency. It doesn't look bad, it looks nice, it's just not completely matte. It's definitely more of a satin finish, and it also is a little bit strongly scented for my taste. Other than that, it's not terrible. The only thing I have like a gripe about lately is that like drugstore prices have gotten high enough that at this point I almost expect them to compete with high-end brands, because really at the end of the day, an $8 lipstick still isn't that cheap when you break it down. Like, if it was $3 or $4, then fine. Like, the Essence blush was like $3.49. It's not great, and I'm not mad about it because it was $3.49. If it was $10, I'd be like, what the fuck, you know? This, it's not terrible, but it was $7.99. So it's like almost half the price of a high-end liquid lipstick. So to me, it almost makes sense to just save your money and save up for like a better liquid lipstick that you're going to enjoy using a little bit more, because it's just not that cheap that it makes it worth it. The longer I sit here, the more it does become less sticky on the lips, but it still is not completely matte, which is very interesting. And I think ink is a really weird name for it too, because ink tells me like it would be almost like an inky stain, and this is very thick and sticky. The last product I want to talk about today, I picked up one of these. This is the Maybelline Shine Shot in the Prismatic version. I don't know how this accidentally became like a unicorn princess tutorial, but it totally did. I was not even intending that. I just went to the store and picked up like a bunch of random shit, and this is just what came out of it. So I am going to try applying this Shine Shot to the top of this lipstick, and we'll see how it looks. Oh, it's fucking shiny. Oh no shit. Yes, bitch, yes. Okay, so now this was also $7.99, which for a gloss, again, not crazy cheap, but it does look just as good as like the ABH Moon Jelly one does. It doesn't feel as nice on the lips. It's a little bit more gritty. I don't want to rub it around too much and like get my shit all fucked up before I take pictures of this, but I can feel already that there is a little bit of grit in there, and it's not as thick as the ABH Moon Jelly, so it probably won't wear as long. But if you're looking for something that gives you that look and you don't want to spend $20, this is really good. This is beautiful. It's very shiny, goes on evenly. It gives you like the right amount of shimmer in it for it to be like, just like really like bam in your face, but not completely cover up the shade of the lipstick as well. Very impressed with this. I like that one a lot. So that is all for this completely drugstore accidental unicorn look. I would say that every product here is decent. The blush was kind of like really meh. It wasn't anything special. It didn't knock my socks off, blow my skirt up, pay my taxes, anything like that. It was just kind of eh. The L'Oreal Infallible Paints Shadow, it's nice. It needs to be used wet. It's just basically a shimmer shadow. It has nothing to do with paint. I don't understand the branding of this. However, it is a perfectly nice shimmery metallic shade. So if you're looking for something around this price point and something like a bronzy shade, it's perfectly nice. But if you have a million bronze shade eyeshadows, you really don't need this. It's just another bronze shade. Absolutely nothing special. The NYX Ultimate Brights palette is kind of hit or miss depending on what shade. The pinks blended incredibly. Like I was really impressed with how they blended, but the darker blue shade just is kind of patchy and not so fantastic. I had to really work to make it even look decent. The other shades in there seem to be hit or miss as well. I swatched a few of them, played with a few of them to see which ones I wanted to use. Some were great, some were mediocre. It was just, it is what it is. It is only a $17.99 palette, so if you're looking for something bright, it's definitely not a disappointment, and I'm not mad that I bought this, but it's definitely not something that I would choose over other brightly colored palettes that I already have that are just as good. The Pixi eyeliner, totally fine, nothing special. It reminds me a lot of the L'Oreal Silkissime ones. It also reminds me a little bit of the Urban Decay ones, but not as pigmented. So it's not like as rich of a tone, and definitely a little bit more glittery than the Urban Decay ones, but it has like that same gel consistency that slides on really nicely. So if you really hate when a pencil tugs at your eye, you're gonna like this. The NYX Duo Chromatic highlighter in the Lavender Steel shade, by far and away, up a tree, all the way out to sea. I don't know why I'm turning into Dr. Seuss on this, but it is by far the best product that I picked up for this video. This is so pretty. I really am like crossing my fingers that the prettiness of it translates on camera, because it's unbelievably pretty in person. It doesn't look like it's gonna be anything all that special in the pan, but my goodness, when it hits the skin, girl, when it hits the skin, when it hits the lips, it's so good, you know what I mean? The Maybelline Matte Ink Liquid Lipstick, it's perfectly fine. I'll probably wear it maybe once or twice or something, but I'm not crazy about it. It's not amazing. It's not like a special color or anything either. It's just like a rosy pink. I have a bunch of rosy pinks that I like better than this, so I probably will not be reaching through this very often at all. The formula is a little weird and like tacky. So if you're looking for something with like a satin finish though, like if you're like a satin finish ass bitch, you are going to like this. I personally prefer, if my lipstick is going to be matte, that it be all the way matte. And so this is not really for me, but again, not terrible. The Maybelline Shine Shot Prismatic Lip Top Coat, on the other hand, I like this a lot, like a lot. There are a ton of high-end lip glosses like this on the market right now, and people are going apeshit for them, and I feel like this is not getting its due because it is just as cool looking as all of those lipsticks. Oh man, over a navy blue or a black, this shit is going to be hot fire. It is going to be so cool. I actually think I might do that like right now. This is definitely not as thick as a lot of high-end glosses, but it does seem to be sitting very nicely and is not messy. Nothing's getting all over my teeth. So far so good. I'm really impressed with it visually though. If you were just looking for something to give you that look, like that unicorn gloss look, this shit right here, this shit is good. It was fun to kind of dive in to drugstore products and see what they had to offer because I really haven't done that in a long time, and to be honest with you, I'm pretty impressed. I'm also a little shocked at how expensive drugstore products have gotten, TBH, but besides that, I don't know, I'm pretty impressed. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it because that really helps me out and lets me know what you guys like to see. It also helps other people see my video. Spread the word about your friend Msquinnface here on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already because that's the best way to continue to see these videos. I mean, I post them like twice a week, so you might as well just click the button so that you know you're not going to miss it. Who wants to miss out on these things? Definitely not me, and probably not you either. Don't forget to follow me on social media if you're not already. I am at Msquinnface. I'll write that here and all down there in all the places where you need to see it. But I'm just at Msquinnface like I am on here, on everything. I post on Instagram every single day. I usually do like a different new look every single day on Instagram, so shit keeps it interesting over there. If you need to get in touch with me, you want to ask me a question, you want to tell me about something, the best way to get in touch with me like that is on Twitter because YouTube does not like to give me notifications until like 4 days later, and Instagram, they get kind of flooded very quickly over there. So if you have anything to say that is pertinent, Twitter is where it's at. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you liked this, and I will see you. I will see you. I'll see you in the next one.